question, Larry, how do you make money? You're obviously so awesome. I don't get how you make money. The last time I was asked this in person from a man was, hey, Larry, how do you make money? You're literally asking me how to make money while we should be making money, while I'm wearing my Eddie Park signed baseball hat. I saw him before he learned how to hit Oppo Taco. I was like, if you could just do what Rod Carew does, you would get drafted in a high round and play pro baseball. You're welcome. That's what I do, is I take notes of your rise. Kind of like how I'm Waze DJing you from your location, Loserville, to Waze winning Best of South by with no money, nearly no money, basically not 80 grand, basically nearly no money, and 7 Kermit the Frogs, 1 giant duck, and 1 intern, and 1 Larry Chang. I spent probably like 4 hours doing that, over 36 hours, because our Noam Bardeen, let's just call him Noam because he's the CEO of Waze, he didn't give enough budget to get a hotel room for days and days. So we just did 36 hours, no hotel room. 1 intern, 1 Larry Chang, 4 hours, some car dashboard mounters that said Waze. It was like a little business card that we printed that said Waze. And then we handed out these car dashboard mounts for your iPhone to then connect to the other people at Waze. So if you're a power user, you ended up, or an advocate user of Waze, then we gave you $1 worth of stuff. The Kermit the Frogs were just like for super, like a championship trophy of promoting Waze. And the duck, that was just hilarious because people are like, what's the duck for? Oh, deeply understood Chinese and Jewish knowledge, which is it doesn't take money to make money. What are you really doing here? We're promoting Waze. Do you get paid for it? Yeah, I would have gotten paid if you guys would have sold the company to Apple for $5 billion versus Google for barely $1 billion. That's okay though, because the question that was asked of me is, Larry, how do we make money? How do we make money? How do you make money? I said to him, retard, why don't we watch me make 100K in an hour? I'm the vagina whisperer, so I listen to women's questions and I answer them. And when I answer the questions, people just don't believe it. They just don't believe Duck9 is real because it's so magical, mystical. Like it's a centicorn. A unicorn is a gay horse that doesn't exist, because if horses were all gay, there'd be no unicorn. In fact, not only would there be no unicorn, there'd be no horse. Okay? Did I just win at the game of horse? Yeah, while wearing my Eddie Park baseball hat. I love Oppo Taco. I love Oppo Taco. Hashtag Oppo Taco. Guess who couldn't Oppo Taco a lick? Horse pun intended. When he was struggling to lead off. Eddie Park. Couldn't Oppo Taco to save his life. I am all Oppo Taco. I love Oppo Taco a little too much. Get it? Because a taco is vagina and Oppo Taco is my penis. because all my penis is an inside out vagina. That's why I am the vagina whisperer. Vagina whisperer. Yeah, by the way, I'm also doing the sober because that was also another question that I just purely discounted. Completely sober, high on a little bit of green tea, like Tom Brady, and water that I meditated into. Silence affirmation, visualization. I almost said eye contact. Silence affirmation, visualization, exercise, reading, scribing. Meditate into a cup of water, your intention. I have the intention to help people not go bankrupt. I project these thoughts into water, then I ingest it. I'm watching a chick flick on manifestation called What the Bleep Do We Know? And Joe Dispenza, Evolve Your Brain, popped up. And I'm like, this is really going to be helpful when I walk around with a Joe Dispenza book, because I need to curate women who can read, because you don't get my Apo Taco unless you know how to read. What do you do? Let's watch what I do right in front of you. I will explain my magic trick while I'm doing my magic trick. I will make 100K right now. Fortuitously, I was at Austin Tech Week, Larry Chang, co-founder. As co-founder, I actually bought my own ticket versus asking for a comp badge. Because if you're the co-founder of Austin Startup Week, and then they changed the name to Austin Tech Week, I'm the co-founder. In strolls by Nick Spiller. Do you like how my brain works? It's a really, really, really good brain, because it's like me citing specific people while winning. Kind of like a Waze app that Apple bought for $5. Oh, wait a minute. You guys fucked that up, didn't you? You know what? I don't need that. I didn't need that 350 sticks. You don't need it. Are you happy with your $1 billion exit? Every time I see Apple Maps still fucked up, I'm like, your Mobius Ventures VCs, they're not happy with you. A unicorn exit, in fact, they shouldn't be happy with themselves. This is why you should have hired Larry Chang to be your VC, because I would have literally 5x'd your TVPI right into thought leadership season for LPs, which is what this video is, which is, how do you make money? How do you make money? You need to be making money while you make money. Because I already said this to this question asker, which is HTMMWYMM. You see, these videos are funny and they're massively insightful. But for each view, each 10 view, I have a 1 in 800 shot of making 30 mil. Let me go over the numbers. I won't go over the numbers because we're going to go over the numbers for the question that was asked, which is, how do you make money? We're sitting in the lobby of a hotel, Omni, and I squat a table where there is deal flow. Let me repeat. There's a restaurant, okay, and I'm the whale. I want you to crash my table. In fact, if you don't crash my table, okay, I'm going to be less whaley, okay? Do you remember that, what they don't teach you at Y Combinator about crashing people's breakfast table? Breakfast is easy to crash. Dinner is the hardest table to crash. I can do it. But lunch is a way harder crash than a breakfast table. But if I'm the whale, I need people to crash my dinner table too, because with that girl who I'm eating with, because she's paying, she needs to get ROI right away. So I'll pay people to crash my dinner table because she agreed to buy me dinner, and I need people to crash my table because I'm the whale. I'm the VIP. And then I'm like, do you mind? Do you mind? I'm having dinner with, this woman that I'm courting right now. That's called genius. Focus. Me and question asker were sitting there. How do you make money? Like, are you going to charge me $400 for like a cult to join? Are you selling seminars? Like, what's going on here? I'm kind of nervous. Focus on making 100K in 1 hour. We're already at the sequel to Austin Startup Week, which me, Josh, and Jacqueline started 2011. ASW11. Get it? It's double entendre to Austin Stone Worship 11. And so my pastor, because I was getting tax status in Texas, so you need to have your dog registered for Texas tax. You need to go to your local church. So darn it, I couldn't go to church in that other city that I was the mayor in, Silicon Valley. So dog registry, dog veterinarian, all in Texas. And then, do you go to church? Yeah, I go to Austin Stone Worship. And my pastor is like, wow, Larry, you're really good at the social media marketing thing. My church attendance is blowing up. Thank you for sitting in the front row with your dog, Baxter Brady. It's the same dog. I have no idea where my dog is, and it's such a small place I live in. Imagine if I were in house number 7, I'd even not know more where my dog is. I literally have no idea where my dog is. Tom Brady. If you want a happy life, get a Shih Tzu. Making 100K sitting at lunch with a person asking, an hour. What is step 1 in how I make money? What is step 1? What is step 1 in how you make money? Because how you make money is how I make money. If you were to decide to try to get off of $0, how do you make money? What's the first thing you do? I'm going to stop this video while you answer that question. Did you get worried that I was going to stop the video? I'm giving you the middle finger because I'm giving you this for free. You want to hunt for problems. You want to hunt for problems. And then just say hi to people and be friendly and just listen. Because if you listen, people will tell you, oh, I've never dated a Chinese guy before and I'm kind of curious. They don't say it like that. They're just like, what is your story? I hear, what is your story? To be, I've actually never been vaginal mucus turned on, panty wet from a Chinese guy spitting game. Oh, ladies older than 22, younger than 23, I am not spitting game, okay? I am talking a specific brand of trash talk. It is Northern Chinese, Shanghainese shit talk. Because when I'm draining threes in your face, inverted baseball cap, when I'm draining threes, I have to flip it because my hand goes right through. When I'm draining threes, I'm not talking black and white person talk, which is step up, I lay it, step back, I tray it. Like, that's stupid shit talk. That's stupid. Like, he just saw what happened and you're going to talk regular trash, he's heard that before. When I hit my 5th tray ball in a game to 11 where the threes count only as ones, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I hit that. I'll probably cool down later, but you know what? It is kind of my birthday or some other reverse trash talk. We're sitting at Omni Hotel in the lobby. You remember this, loser dude. You remember this for asking the question, before I try to do Mark McCormick's recipes, before I try to do protocol number 1, can you prove to me that you're rich by showing me your 73 bank accounts and your 39 hardware wallets that you have? But they don't say it that way. They're like, how do you make money? Like, instead of asking me how I make money, why don't you just ask me how much money I have? Don't ask me how I make money by asking me, Larry, how much money out do you spend on payroll? What? You're going to compare money out with money in? Like, we're trying to bring money in. We're not trying to talk about how many people I hire. What? Like, that's literally one of the top questions, which is, how much money do you spend? Like, you might as well just ask, how much do I pay annually in HOA fees? That would actually be a much more genius question, because that shows to me you can't do a property search, okay? And then you're also saying, oh, I did a property search, you own no property. Oh, is all your property being held in a blind trust? Because you don't even know the concept of landlord and tenant. Oh my God, perfectly on cue, back to the Omni restaurant. Do you see how we concentrically circled back? This is how I'm able to stay attention and focus during my rants, because I'm concentric circles. We'll hit this in a second because this is also how I make money. Omni Hotel, landlord and tenant. In walks the co-founder of, not Austin Tech Week. In walks the co-founder of UTE Week. In walks the co-founder of UTE Week. Non sequitur slide, be damned. UTE Week. UTE Week. Hashtag UTE Week. Which is sequential bills. UTE Week. University of Texas Entrepreneur Week. Co-founder, Nick Spiller. I want to say 2012. Guess when E-Week was solo founded? Larry Chang, 2009. Congratulations, Larry Chang. You're making money while you make money. How? Because I let Nick Spiller be a co-founder. Does this sound familiar? Yeah. This is PayPal Mafia, non-employee co-founder. All this hot air is blowing the pieces of paper everywhere. Nick Spiller rolls by our table. His friend asked me, hey Larry, will you tell me how Nick Spiller became a VC? So I'm answering this question here in a video. Fuck you. You're welcome. Say thank you. Say it, seriously. Into the camera. I'll be able to feel it. Just like water. Like, I'll be able to feel if people are thankful. So say thank you into your smartphone. In fact, don't just say thank you. And don't say thank you, Larry Chang. Say thank you to the dude or dudette who wrote you the recommendation letter so that way you can go to Stanford Engineering. Don't thank Larry Chang. I don't need your thanks, okay? I don't need it. I don't need it. You know who needs it? Some poor teacher who's still teaching at that shitty high school that maybe graduates one Stanford grad, because it's a high school. They'll graduate one Stanford grad every 3 years. Maybe. That's the high school you came from, okay? Or no Stanford grads ever. That happens. That probably happened at your high school. Not at my high school. My high school is rough. My high school is actually harder than college. Focus. Nick Spiller rolls by. Nick Spiller rolls by. Nick Spiller rolls by. And I'm like, Nick, meet this guy. He's the younger version of Nick Spiller who's going to do legendary shit. Whales need to be hijacked. Whales absolutely need to be hijacked because, hold on to your shorts, Mr. Nick Spiller is about to be late for his future calendar obligation. He's going to be late. Guess who's making him late? Me making $100K. Normally I wouldn't jack your schedule, but guess what? Somebody wanted to watch me make that money. Nick comes over. I'm like, Nick, please sit down. So he doesn't sit down at our table, but he sits down at an adjoining table, which is right next to the table. And that's how to crash a table at breakfast, is you have to be near and then sit not at their table because it's so jarring. Sit at the table next to their table. And there's enough space where it worked out great. I'm going to diagram this out because what they don't teach you at Y Combinator is mapping out the sequential steps for how to bowling ball. You're the bowling ball, crashing a table. The table people are the pins. You're the bowling ball and how to bowling ball your way from crasher to VIP. So you're a bowling ball. You don't want to knock over all the pins. You just want to enter the pins. Kind of like when you're trying to enter vagina with 5 women who are in a tight circle, and now you as a bowling ball need to enter that circle. And then do you see how like women play this game on easy mode? Because all they got to do is just be like, hi, and then they're in. Whereas men are like having to play the dating game on hard mode. This is called anchor plus satellite. The anchor is my lunch table. The satellite is the outside the table. And so the table is red zone, the yellow zone is nearby, and the green zone is groups of people walking by. This is also how to do a table. What they don't teach you at Y Combinator about doing a trade show booth is that there's a red zone. In my red zone, I'm going to be making $100K in 1 hour. In your red zone, you're going to be not closing deals, but you're going to be closing prospects for an email address. Red zone, that's where the deal closes or some commitments made. The yellow zone is closer to the red zone and not as bad as the green zone. The green zone is just people zooming by. They don't give a fuck. It's in the green zone. They're just blowing by. So Nick sits in the red zone at our table and then says, Larry, I can't hang out with you all night like we did so many times. And then the guy who asked the question was like, wow, you really know Nick. And then I sold Nick to the other person, which I said, and this is how to make money, is I sold Nick. This is Nick Spiller. He's the co-founder of UTE Week. He does legendary shit. He heads up media for Capital Factory, and he's a VC, and he has a slew of inflection points that helped him get to his status. And then the question was asked, well, why are you in hotel lobbies till all hours of the night? Enter VC Nick Spiller before he became a VC, which is we sold a company that we did not own. How many VCs have a third to half their exits as companies that they first sold and then buy stock in. Let me repeat that. How many VCs exits are where they first sell the company and then they buy stock? Oh, was this what I was trying to do with Waze? Yes. In fact, there's a certain legendary VC in Silicon Valley. His first 4 exits were companies that he sold and then bought the stock in. Welcome, limited partners, to Larry Chang Limited Partner Thought Leadership Season. Comma, quote, limited partners, welcome to Larry Chang Limited Partner Thought Leadership Keynote Video. I'm Larry. I probably met you a bunch of times. I sit behind home plate at Stanford baseball games. Did I tell you this is an Eddie Park hat? Yeah. Apotaco, 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 opposite taco. We are now 40 seconds into me hijacking Nick Spiller's calendar. Grab a pen because this is the answer to your question, which is how do you make money? I'm thinking while I'm kissing Nick's ass, okay, because he's my VC mentor. While I'm kissing Nick's ass, kissing his ass now too, I'm thinking I got to make 100K because that's part of the magic trick. Oh, we're in a hotel. We sold a company that was going bankrupt. Me and 12 undergrads. Nick was an undergrad at the time. At a top 35 Texas college, University of Texas, Austin. Horns down. He proceeds to throw compliments at the rate of 2 to 3 compliments per minute by saying, like, massive compliments. And instead of my ego being, oh yeah, thanks for being the whale that comes to my table and then throws compliments to this whale, I was thinking, I need to make 100K. Oh, so I took compliment energy, which is why rich dudes get richer, which is why smart baseball scouts get smarter. This is counterintuitive and true. When you throw compliments that are sincere, that are real, you end up making money. Because now the whale, especially a northern Chinese VVIP whale, we start to feel imposter complex. We start to feel imposter complex like we don't know early versions of the lean startup. Like, I'm getting goosebumps because, like, I get imposter complex. So now we got to step up our game. So when you compliment the third institution of Silicon Valley, now we got to be like, shit, like, I was great 10 years ago. What have I done recently? And now I got to be like, fuck, what am I going to do? Like, I used to be the #1 Stanford baseball fan. Now what do I got to do? I got to go to all the away games and get home field advantage for Stanford on the road in the ACC. HTG, HFA, OTR, right? Nick throws compliments, and I'm going to bullet point these because you've been on pins and needles for this, which is we talked about landlord and tenant, which is how we got to, hey, HOA, hey, Texas, no income tax. How do we earn that? Be landlord and tenant. I learned that Nick Spiller, who's a VC at Capital Factory under Josh Baer, who started it with Brian Manel, got a building in Dallas. And that building in Dallas became great because it was co-branded Capital Factory. And that building in Dallas sold. And the new landlord was a dick. Or not a dick, but just not playing ball. This is what I was going to pitch Nick. Because how do you make 100K? You're going to have to edit a piece of turd. And guess what? Commercial real estate, it's a giant heaping, steaming pile of turd right now. Nick said my solution before I could tell him that that was a solution. Done. Done. And do you see how I'm skipping steps? Because when you actually execute it, you're going to be doing what I did with Nobu, the hotel, which is watching and helping my friend Chip Connolly take a heaping pile of turd called, I remember the address, 200 Hamilton, Casa Olga. Do you love my brain? I haven't said Casa Olga in like 14 years since Nobu was co-founded. Was it 7 years? Time is a flat circle. Time is a flat circle. Like a DJ. Am I annoying? Right now I'm annoying me. I'm literally slightly annoying myself. The smaller circle, which is Augie Garrido, University of Texas. Augie Garrido. Legendary University of Texas baseball coach. IG is not Instagram, you bankrupt, silly, using IG as a dating app. You should use your hardware wallet as a dating app and then get women to buy you dinner, and then you pay 2 people to come say hi to you during dinner. Maybe even a photographer. And then SGB is Stephen Gary Blank. That's how to make money, because the steps of Nobu is a commercial real estate turnaround, because you're trying to plug in. What's the next thing I'm going to say? I know what I'm going to say. You should be almost like, oh my God, I finally get it. Like I just sniffed out a problem, which is Capital Factory's not really making a shit ton of money the way that Tim Draper is. Because I pitched to Josh Baer. Remember, the point of this, how do I make 100K in an hour? That's the point. I'm hunting problems, and I pitched Josh. I was like, hey, why don't we turn around an apartment building where the apartment building's 8 floors, 2 of the floors are Capital Factory residents, and then 6 is whatever. And so the 4 floors covers our mortgage, and then the 2 floors, that's all gravy. And Josh was like, no, I don't want to get into the apartment business. And this is 2022, maybe? And so I'm like, why don't you want to do what Larry Chang and Tim Draper are doing? And so Nick was like, Tim Draper? Oh, he's our biggest LP. Boom! There are no coincidences when you're the mayor of Silicon Valley who annexed Miami. Yes, I annexed Miami. And did I put the headquarters in Miami? That's a major dick move, okay? Because when you put the headquarters in Miami, it's kind of far. It's a 4-hour nap. It's a 5-hour nap on American and United. But it's a 4-hour nap, and people are going to be like, that's not the capital, that's just Miami. But if you annex Miami and then put the capital in Austin to do 2 board meetings in Austin, coinciding with 2 festivals that you want a vacation to anyway, Austin City Limits and South by Southwest. I was going to put it in Vail, Colorado, but like there isn't that constant conference traffic that Austin gets. And so when you have a nerd conference, World Forum Internet of Things Ottawa, World Forum Internet of Things Austin, or Money 2020 Austin. So Austin's easier because it already has a built-in deal flow and lead gen, in the same way that I was at the Omni Hotel at a restaurant getting that deal flow. So Austin itself is deal flow, which is why Austin is the capital of Silicon Valley. It's the capital. It's super easy. The Nobu paste copy, the Tim Draper paste copy, hashtag external API. Now you can just do what you being Capital Factory can do what all y'all did in Dallas, but with another distressed landlord that needs to slap the Capital Factory meatball on their building. In the same way that I'm slapping the AMC logo on a distressed building while converting some general area, the mother scratching garage, into an AMC pop-up theater. No employees, just kiosks, and one shitty movie that's maybe an art flick. And it's zero rent. In fact, you got to pay Adam Aaron to show shitty movies, and you got to give up all your revenue. That's Nobu. That's Nobu. Oh, you know what? This feels good, posture-wise. Oh, I could do abs work. I could do abs work. I can do abs work. I can do abs work while I do this video. So that's Nobu, actually. That's Nobu. Let me walk you through the business model, because somebody sucks at, oh my God, my abs are going to be fire. Oh my God. This is how to do abs work while we do videos. Oh. This is how the Nobu money works for the business model. Nobu was a pop-up at Epiphany Hotel that had a shitty restaurant. Does this shit sound familiar to you? Yeah. To make 100K, we're solving problems. So what we're going to do is we're going to arbitrage an entire building. But this time, Larry Chang's going to make like $3 billion or $3 million or $3. Because step 2 is how to do what Larry Chang does without having to hire Larry Chang. Josh Bear at Capital Factory, Nick Spiller at Capital Factory. I hope you got a pen, because you don't have to pay me 100K. You can just do what Larry Chang does without having to hire Larry Chang. You can just do what Larry Chang did, reverse VC, without inviting Larry Chang to speak at Austin Tech Week. Do you get how I make money? Do you get it now? You're welcome. Because the first thing I want you to do is I want you to be like, wow, I can make a lot of money doing this, and I don't even need to hire Larry Chang because he's telling me how to do it. This is how. You paste copy Nobu while you're Larry Chang, the Pritzker family, Chip Connolly, while you're paste copying Tim Draper, Draper University, with his real estate arbitrage. Tim Draper's Draper University didn't quite work out well in Austin, but then he forgot to bring me on as a board of advisors, board of director, or anything, because he put it in a shitty spot. And so this is also what whales do, is they forget their mentees who become their mentor. Because Tim Draper made a mistake by trying to arbitrage the shittiest piece of real estate becoming shittier on Dirty Sixth. That's okay. Nobu. Paste copying Tim Draper, paste copying Larry Chang, Josh Baer, Nick Spiller. This is how. You find some building in some city and you brand the building Larry Chang's Factory of Capital. Done! Because that's what Nobu did. 2 days a week, Fork and Thistle turned into Nobu. And then you get 2 nights a week to pick. What do you pick? This is the part where you talk and I listen. You're doing a restaurant takeover. Chip Connolly, J.B. Pritzker, Larry Chang, the French dude who hated me, who's the GM, pick 2 nights. What nights do you pick? I want to pick Friday and whatever other night. How many Friday and Saturday nights per month do we as future Nobu have to give to you, Nobu? How many? How many nights of Fridays and Saturdays per month do I have to give you? 8, right? Maybe 9. What you don't know, which is counterintuitive and true, is I actually have 900 nights to give you. Because I'm not trying to sell sushi to make money. That's why you're poor. Because you're trying to sell sushi. What are we trying to do? We're trying to sell Casa Olga shitty rooms that used to make $500 a month. We're now trying to make $500 a night. Do you get the arbitrage? We're trying to sell hotel rooms. And women love booking expensive shit. Would you like to stay at Casa Olga where you could be roped by a child predator who is on Megan's list and has to register with the local Palo Alto Police Department and check in once a week to be like, okay, I didn't rope anybody. Do you want to sleep in that hotel? Oh my God, my abs. Oh, my abs. Oh. My abs are still twitching right now. Oh my God. Is this a new workout? How to get abs while you're public speaking while practicing breath. Nani Shardana breathing. That's the business model where you're hunting for a building to turn around and calling it Larry Chang's Factory of Capital. Because you slap on Larry Chang and Factory of Capital onto a building, boom, that building's rapidly turned around. Way better than those WeWork stuff. Because WeWork won't give you the best handy ever. Plus videos. Handies and videos. Larry Chang's, maybe no handies, maybe just videos. Larry Chang's Factory of Capital. Nobu. Food for lead gen. Whatever you're paying for in an office, what if we could double your company within 3 years after you sign a lease? Would you like to double? By the end of 3 years, post payment required, you can default, meaning you can double and then fuck us by leaving in a year and a half, okay? But you'll probably, counterintuitively, just sign up for more office space because I doubled you. And if you fuck me after I double you, that's okay. I like getting fucked. I like it. With consent. I like giving proactive consent. Not consent yet. But if you're hot and older than 22 and younger than 23, buy me 3 meals, send me a romantic gift, and I'll think about consent. Consent as, I almost said intercourse. Consent as, foreplay. I always forget that word, foreplay. Identify a building, turn it around, sell it. Do you see how we made 100K in less than an hour because that's how long this video took. Do you see how I doubled the company inside of 3 years? Because it's not like the company was making like $5 million and doubled to 10, which is actually easier. No company is going to move in that's got 700 million revenue and is 70 years old, okay? That company you can't double because they're on a rocket ship one way into the mother scratching ground like freaking NASA with their woke shit, crowd striking their way into like some DEI, ESG hellhole without a Waze app. These are small companies that you're doubling. And so inside of the first month, they're going to double, right? Because I'm the landlord, well, pseudo landlord. Because remember, I'm selling you a rental and then I'm buying the rental. That's the business model. That's Paul Buchheit, Y Combinator. This is what they do teach you at Y Combinator is first you want to sell it, then you want to focus on distribution, and then hopefully your mediocre ass product can improve as you're improving. You don't want to do what Reid Hoffman advocates, which is jump off a cliff and then build your airplane on the way down, because that shit's impossible. And he didn't fucking study fucking aerospace engineering or engineering. He's some business dude talking white person shit. What? CS183C blitzscaling? You're going to jump off a cliff, lecture 1, and build an airplane on the way down? Is that what you even did at LinkedIn? No. You're at PayPal buying your way in for 50K, where I am making 50K a day doing lead gen, where you are at PayPal from the outside, later buying your way in with a 50K check, doing some sort of biz dev under Keith Verboy and VP of Marketing Luke Nosek. You're welcome. And saying during PayPal meltdowns, look, and laughing, sorry, not saying it, laughing, where we're like, look, if this shit burns to the ground because we're tiptoeing around bankruptcy all the time, if this shit burns to the ground, our safety net is this stupid website where we trade business cards. Is it a knockoff of Spoke? Kinda. You're knocking off Spoke. So you're not even building an airplane on the way down. You're literally sitting in the airplane VIP lounge of a private airplane field while having 5 different airplanes that are all free that you can fly on. That's the Reid Hoffman redo of Lecture 1, CS183C. Your VC tells you to jump off the cliff and build the airplane on the way down. Larry Chang, who already shipped CS183D and CS183E before you even posted your genius how to apply to get into CS183C, blitzscaling. I already shipped 63,030 tweets that are on CS183D and CS183E. Is this too inside baseball? No, it's not inside baseball enough, because you need to fill out the rest of the picture, because you need to make me 100K in an hour. No, you need to make 100K before you turn 30. Total, ladies. Majority of you ladies will never make 100K total in your first 30 years on the planet. You're not. Don't let other ladies who are doing porn and making 100K a month demoralize you from trying to make 100K before you turn 21. Because the majority of females will not make $100,000 who are born after 2004, won't make 30K or won't make 100K before they turn 30. Probably won't even make 30K. That was a Freudian slip. I'll live by it. Walking through the mechanics of it, which is external API, back on topic, how to do what Larry Chang does without having to pay Larry Chang $30 million. You start brainstorming external APIs. Your shitty building has shitty food. So do 2 days. I wouldn't do 2 days of a Nobu pop-up, but you know what? You probably should. Because a Nobu pop-up is just buying Nobu food. Or, you're welcome, building that's going extinct, the unofficial Nobu pop-up. You're welcome. Do you see how easy it is to make money? You just external API into things, and then, oh, we're doing a contest for people that come to our AMC theater, our Adam Aaron run landlord subsidizes the AMC theater to pay no rent and just make money, because that's what a Nobu is. That's what a Michael Mina, that's what a Wolfgang Puck restaurant is. You don't think Wolfgang Puck is paying rent in Las Vegas, do you? No. Hat tip, Lana Trevison, who I haven't said her name in at least 10 years. This is what happens. Guess who loves my shit? Women who want to ride the Larry Chang. They want to ride me, and so they're like, I'll listen to anything. You're super hot. And then guess what? After like 9 sessions, you're like, oh my God, you really are onto something. Plus we go to parties and they're like, women are like, oh my God, you know everybody. And then they're like, you know everything about everything. And then women can either stand next to the finish line and bang the winners, or they themselves can do some of the work. Guess what? The ones I like are the ones that do some of the work and then pay for me, right? If I helped you make that money, you should be buying me dinner and taking me on trips. That's how to be cash flow positive dating as a billionaire. Advanced shit that you'll never be able to do, because the first 63,030 tweets are things that anybody can do for $0, because I have 180,000 tweets. The middle 63,000 tweets are kind of common sense things that are you can extrapolate. The last 63,000 tweets, because I'm doing 240, the last 63,000 tweets, which I'm in that phase right now, is basically shit that you can't do unless you're Larry Chang, which is why the later tweets are kind of crazy. But why don't you dig and unearth the parsed, curated tweets via hashtag #HatTipChrisMessina in this presentation called How to Do What Larry Chang Does Without Having to Pay Larry Chang any money, which is this building turnaround. So AMC, you're the landlord, AMC's the tenant. The tenant pays how much money in how much money? The tenant pays $0. So as the tenant's paying $0, what do they get? They get revenue while paying $0. What do you get? You get a building now with an AMC theater. You get a building now with an unofficial Nobu. And you can do it with like burritos. Ask Michael Kim, Burrito Boy. He used to laugh at me for being Pizza Boy. His only unicorn is some Latin fintech company. Some Latin fintech company where he handed out free burritos to sign up accounts. Michael Kim, Fund of Funds, you're motherfucking welcome. I am the second baddest motherfucker on this planet. Let's finish. External API, your shit building. Hunting problems. Men don't get to date because dating apps broke women and men. Solution. At a shithole, you find the shittiest plot of land by the dumpster and you put some green grass. Not real green grass like that AstroTurf. That green turf. AstroTurf's a trademark, blah, blah, blah. Go to Home Depot now. you make it maybe slightly bigger, and now it's a dog park. And it's a dog park so cool that people ask, hey, do you have access to that dog park? Because I heard at the Camden building, that dog park, people go there and people fornicate after meeting at the dog park. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Because dog parks like Ted Reingold, Dogster, it's a social networking app for dogs. Plot spoiler, the human uses the computer to connect dogs. Plot spoiler, people get married after meeting on Dogster. That's Dog Park. It's a dating app where you're using your dog to do lead generation. I'm getting quiet because I see how truly magically talented I am. You're honored to be in my presence, aren't you? Admit it, Chinese dudes talk trash in totally a different way. Do you agree? We're going to wrap with this. You're welcome. Problem. Bitcoin accounting and mining can't convert to fiat while you convert to mining. It's accounting software for miners. Was this video useful? I bet it was. The reason the dollars are photocopied is when you accept cash, you want to record serial numbers because of KYC AML. So if some rich dude drops off 60K, you have to photocopy every bill. And it's also LCRRM, Larry Chang Reverse Rebate Model, which is a sequel to Mark McCormack Reverse Rebate Model. Because this is also how to do deals where you're doing small deals as a momentum play for like a larger deal. Because remember, the focus of this video is how do you make 100K in an hour? Larry Chang, how do you make money? And then I respond, watch me make 100K in an hour. It starts with a small trickle, and then that's the dam that breaks.